Hey guys, so I'm going to show you how to fire actions now. So as we mentioned before from that diagram, you've got the global store, right, that's like going on. And if you want to change what that store looks like, the data that's in it, the only way you can really do that in Redux is you get one chance to set your initial state of your store, which we'll have a look at in a minute. After that, the only way you can change it is by firing actions. So let's talk about how you fire an action, what that looks like. So first thing I'm gonna do is fire an action. So I'm just gonna put a letter in this box, right? And you see an action gets fired here. So we fired. You can see everything that's going on in here. So you've got the type. We fired. So we work with this convention. So we have the name of our reducer, which I'll go through in a minute, slash, and then in capital letters, the like action name, if you like, which is in capitals with underscores. It's a pretty common pattern that people seem to follow. And then you can see the payload, which was an A, because I typed an A. And if you have a look at the state before that, to-dos currently editing to-do had empty text, because it did have empty text on the screen, and now it has A, right? Because A. If I put a B in, see another one. So now the payload is AB, but the same type, and you'll see that the store's state has changed. And now the text is AB. So that's like the outcome. So how does that happen? So this is getting fired by this code here. This.props.dispatch update to do text. So this code here gets called when that text changes. We can have a look at the nuts and bolts of how that works. It's just an input box. It's like pretty standard React stuff. The only thing that's a little bit unusual about this is that I'm passing in a lambda, which is I think like quite a good idea in general, but it might be confusing if you've not seen that done before. So I'm passing the on update to do text prop, and if you look in here, the on update to do text prop, right, gets called on the on change of input. So you type something in the input, this fires, and then it calls that function with the new value of the input, right? And then you bounce up here, and you're here, right? And you've got the text there. So this.props.dispatch, what's this about? So this is because you can do this because you connected. So something else that connect does is it puts a prop called dispatch. It puts it there. It's a function that you can call, and when you call it, you have to pass in. Remember the diagram from before. You have to pass in the something which is a JSON object. It's like a JSON or like a JavaScript object that has a type and optionally has a payload. That's it. So you could literally say like I can't remember exactly what that thing looked like, but it was like something like this. You could say like to do slash like I don't know update, whatever it was. You could do that, right? And then you can put payload in. I don't know, like whatever. Well, I guess in this case it's like to do, right? So you can do that. That's basically what's happening. Now in our projects, we have our to-dos in a separate file. You could do it like this, but I think the other way is better, because then if you need to reuse these from another place, you can, and it also just keeps things neat and tidy, that things have like a particular place. So it just stops everything from descending into chaos. So let's go have a look at this code. This code is like some of the most simple code you're going to see today. So update to do text, you can see up here, it's in Redux actions to do. So let's go find that. Redux. I like to have a Redux folder with all my Redux stuff in. Some people don't do. I've seen it like mixed up with the code. That's up to them. This works very well for us. You just know where everything's going to be, like in your giant fuck off Redux folder. So it's easy. Look in the actions to do's file here. You can see the different actions we've got. Now we're looking at update to do text. So we're looking at this one, right? So you should be familiar with importing and exporting in ES6. This just means that I can import it somewhere else. Boring. So update to do text takes the to do text as a param, and it produces that thing we just pretty much wrote. So the thing an action. So it has a type with this stuff, looks super familiar, and a payload, and the payload is just set to whatever you pass in. So if we hop back to where we call this, when you call this, right, it's going to look like this thing here, right, like this. Make that a bit bigger for you. So it's going to look like this, and that's it. So that's how you fire an action. There's a slightly more advanced way of writing an action that we'll cover in a minute. you can only, so at the moment by calling these functions, you're dispatching one action. So you're limited. You can't fire more than one thing at a time, and it also fires them immediately. So you can't delay the dispatch of the action, and you can't do multiple actions. But it's super simple, and for a lot of things, this is just what you're going to do. So it's very easy.